I want to welcome you to another episode of God's Story. This is a weekly faith formation event where God's story is told, and we have some time afterwards to talk about how this story is still real for us. This week's story is called Jesus the Boy, from Luke, the second chapter, beginning at verse 40. When they had finished everything required by God in the law, they returned to Galilee and their own town, Nazareth. There the child grew in body and wise in spirit, and the grace of God was on him. Now every year Jesus' parents traveled to Jerusalem for the feast of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up as they always did for the feast. And when it was over, they left for home, but the child was behind in Jerusalem, and his parents didn't know it. Thinking he was somewhere in the company of the pilgrims, they journeyed for a whole day and then began looking for him among the relatives and neighbors. When they didn't find him, they went back to Jerusalem to look for him, and the next day they found him in the temple, seated amongst the teachers, listening to them and asking questions. And the teachers were quite taken with him, impressed even with the sharpness of his answers. But his parents weren't so impressed. They were upset and hurt. His mother said, "Young man, why have you done this to us? Your father and I have been half out of our minds looking for you." He said, "Why are you looking for me? Didn't you know that I would be here dealing with the things of my father?" But they had no idea that what he was talking about. So he went back to Nazareth with them and lived obediently with them. His mother held these things dearly, deep within herself. And Jesus matured, growing up both in body and spirit, blessed by both God and people. Now, let's take a few moments to think about what was said here, and then go to our website and answer the questions to see how this story is still real to you today. And may you have a great week.